Welcome back, everyone. Are you ready to seriously test your mental mettle today? We are running through the ultimate general knowledge bootcamp. Think of this explainer as, well, basically a diagnostic test for your brain. It's a comprehensive, highly structured, rapid-fire refresh of your foundational knowledge. We're going to connect the dots across everything from the planets hovering way above us to the literal biology ticking away inside us. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. To help build a complete picture of our universe, we've organized these rapid-fire facts into 4 distinct pillars. We'll start with space, science, and nature, then move to global geography and nations, followed by history, art, and culture, and finally, sports, math, and measurements.
So are you ready for round 1? We're kicking things off with space, science, and nature, the literal building blocks of our reality.
Let's zoom out and look at the sheer extremes of our solar system. On one hand, you have Mercury. It's the absolute smallest planet in our 8-planet system, and it is completely scorched because it's the closest one to the sun. Now, contrast that tiny, rocky little world with Jupiter. We're talking about a massive, swirling gas giant. It's the undisputed largest planet in our neighborhood, and of course, it's famous for that iconic Great Red Spot.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it groups the chemical formulas for the very things that keep us alive. The water we drink? Universally known as H2O. The oxygen we're breathing right now is just O. Then there's carbon dioxide, or CO2, which plants brilliantly absorb from the atmosphere for us. And we even have the iron in our world, which is denoted by the symbol Fe.
Speaking of the things keeping us alive, here's a quick question for you about your own internal biology. How many bones are in the adult human body? Take a second, lock in your guess. Interestingly, if you were a shark, the answer would actually be exactly 0, because sharks are made entirely of cartilage. But humans, well, we're a bit more structured than that.
The answer is 206. We've got exactly 206 bones making up our adult skeletal puzzle. And if you're wondering which piece of that complex puzzle is the absolute biggest, the femur, your thigh bone, takes the prize as the largest single bone in the human body.
Shifting over to the broader animal kingdom, we find this incredible juxtaposition of nature's extremes. Up on land, the cheetah is the undisputed champion of explosive speed, just pure fast-twitch muscle. But down in the ocean, speed kind of gives way to sheer unmatched scale. The blue whale isn't just the largest animal in the ocean, it is a true leviathan, dwarfing pretty much everything else on Earth.
Nature is just brilliantly bizarre, isn't it? I mean, look inside us. Our organs perform these highly specific, crucial tasks. Our kidneys act as filters for our blood, the liver works tirelessly to produce bile, and the pancreas regulates our whole system by producing insulin. But then you look at the ocean, and an octopus literally has 3 hearts pumping away to keep it alive. And a starfish? It possesses the mind-blowing biological ability to completely regrow its own limbs.
Hey, congrats on surviving round 1. Let's move to round 2, global geography and nations, and see how this builds as we zoom back down to Earth's surface.
Okay, so here's the macro anatomy of our home planet. We divide the Earth's land masses up into 7 distinct continents. Above us, and this is contrary to what a lot of people assume, nitrogen is actually the most common gas in our atmosphere, not oxygen. Surrounding our land, the Pacific Ocean is the largest ocean on Earth. Yeah, the very same one bordering California. And looking at geographical extremes, Greenland takes the crown as the world's absolute largest island, while the continent of South America houses the vast and totally essential Amazon rainforest.
Now, to really grasp global geography, it totally helps to anchor specific countries to their cultural identities and key facts. Take Japan, globally known as the land of the rising sun. It's the birthplace of sushi, the national sport of sumo, and it operates on the yen currency. Then you've got Canada, which gives us the imagery of Ottawa as its capital, a really fierce love for ice hockey, and of course, maple syrup. India stands out heavily right now, officially having the largest population in the world as of 2024. And Russia? Well, it claims the undeniable title of the world's largest country by physical area.
All right, let's test how well you know the historical ties between these global nations. Here is your question. Which country famously gifted the Statue of Liberty to the United States of America? Got a guess?
That's right, it was France. This is just a perfect example of how geographical borders and vast oceans are frequently bridged by incredible acts of historical diplomacy and friendship.
Moving right along to round 3, history, art, and culture. Because human knowledge isn't just about rocks and borders, It's about what we create and what we remember.
And this brilliantly illustrates the absolute peak of human artistic achievement. We can neatly match these legendary creators to their most iconic masterpieces. Leonardo da Vinci gave the world the enigmatic Mona Lisa. Michelangelo painstakingly painted the breathtaking ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Vincent van Gogh captured incredible, raw emotion in The Starry Night. And William Shakespeare? He penned the ultimate tragic romance, Romeo and Juliet.
But beyond art, human history is this relentless march of progress, discovery, and, well, sometimes tragedy. Think about it. Thomas Edison quite literally illuminated our modern world by inventing the light bulb. Isaac Newton unlocked the invisible forces of the universe by discovering gravity, a realization famously prompted by an apple falling on his head. Decades later, Neil Armstrong took that ultimate giant leap, becoming the first man to walk on the moon. And history is also marked by those unforgettable dates, like 1912, the tragic year the magnificent Titanic famously sank.
All right, gear up, because we've reached our final level, round 4, sports, math, and measurements. Time to focus on the universal languages of numbers, geometry, and the games we play.
Shifting gears into the universal language of geometry, let's visually step up the geometric ladder. We start with a pentagon, which has exactly 5 sides. Add a single side, and we step up to a hexagon with 6 sides. Jump up by 2 more, and we hit the octagon, an 8-sided shape that's instantly recognizable to all of us literally every time we pull up to a red stop sign.
But look, numbers aren't just for drawing shapes, right? They're how we try to quantify the sheer, terrifying power of our planet. Take the Richter scale. This is the specific measurement system utilized by scientists around the globe to measure the massive intensity of a natural disaster, specifically an earthquake. It is literally how we put a number to the trembling of the earth.
Let's pivot those numbers over to the sports field with one final challenge for you. How many players are on a soccer team per team when actively playing on the field? Just for some context, a baseball team has 9 players out on the field during a game. But what about soccer?
The answer is 11. So, the crucial point is, whether it's the 11 players fiercely defending a soccer pitch, the 9 players on a baseball diamond, or even the 5 interlocking rings you see on the Olympic flag, our sports and global games are deeply, structurally defined by their numbers.
Let's run a final rapid-fire math drill to really cap off this boot camp. Look at the pure elegance of these numbers. The square root of 9 perfectly yields 3. The square root of 16 gives us 4. The square root of 64 scales up to 8. And stepping away from square roots entirely, if we want to come full circle, literally, there are exactly 360 degrees in a full, complete circle.
And just like that, speaking of coming full circle, we've done it. You have successfully survived the General Knowledge Bootcamp. So my final question for you is, how many of these foundational facts did you actually already know before today? And more importantly, take a look at the incredible mental framework we just organized. Which subject, whether it's the depths of space, the intricate anatomy of your body, global geography, or complex math, will you choose to explore deeper today? Take this foundation and go build on it. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and keep that focused curiosity alive.